Hello everybody, we are back every day Sunday. You know, every day is a Sunday. Then today we are back with our show, Beat Them Up, every Sunday. Don't miss out. So what I want you to do is go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share. Visit my website, shanimax.de, www.shanimax.de. Visit my YouTube channel, visit my Facebook, visit my Twitter, LinkedIn, and Vimeo. That's all my social media always I'm in. And don't forget Twitter. So please go there, subscribe, comment, like, share, and call all your friends. Beat Them Up show every Sunday. We're gonna start our show in a remote way. I want you to see this video. I'm gonna pause this video. I'm gonna show you this video. Watch it with the calm way. Listen, calculate what is there, and then comment. Today's show, I'm not going to do much, but I'm gonna give you a really very important message, information you need. My work is to collect all the video around the world, and I want to show you what's the truth. And that's why I called my show Beat Them Up. I'm beating them. I want to show them that this is right, that is wrong. So please, I need answers today. You have seen my video. Please comment, like it, share, and then let's discuss this, because we're confused. We don't know which is which. So watch this video, then I'll come after the break. I analyze on my own thinking. I'm repeating this. This is my own thinking of what you've seen, and later I want to see your ideas. How you think about this video? How did you think about this message? Then we go through. So Beat Them Up show every Sunday.
The confirmed cases have crossed 5 lakh. The world's biggest cities are shut. Stock markets are in free fall. The Wuhan virus has triggered an unprecedented crisis in human history. The sheer scale of it is unnerving. One virus has disrupted the whole world. And this leads us to a question. Is the Wuhan virus the world's biggest intelligence failure? Did no one see it coming? Were these countries too complacent? By the time the world swung into action, the virus had already crossed most borders. And now everyone is playing catch up. Well, almost everyone. There is one country that seems to have an edge right now. The home country of the Wuhan virus, that is China. There is no doubt that China was hit for weeks, that Chinese people suffered. But now China says it has contained the threat. So it's closing down borders and opening up businesses. Fewer cases are being reported, factories are up and running again, businesses will take time to revive, but they have made a start. Companies are being encouraged to make coronavirus supplies. They're making equipment other countries might need to fight the outbreak: gloves, masks, personal protection equipment, even ventilators. So first China put the world in ICU, and now it is selling them ventilators. Is China profiting from this outbreak? As I said, the people of China have gone through unspeakable misery. Thousands have died, they've suffered. But big business and the government now stands to gain in China. And if this sounds too sinister a plot, look at this. This is a book written in 1999, and this could offer clues into the Chinese mindset. It's called Unrestricted Warfare: China's Master Plan to Destroy America. It's a book on military strategy. It was written by 2 Chinese generals, Qiao Liang and Wang Xiangzu. The book makes an argument. It says that China cannot defeat America in a direct military confrontation, but it can leverage its economic prowess to leave the Americans behind. Now, the book's assessment has some eerie similarities with the present situation. It is being quoted by conspiracy theorists. They claim that amid this coronavirus crisis, Beijing is executing its world domination plan. On this show, We do not go by conspiracy theories to make our assessments, so we set out to look for the facts. What we found was most interesting, and we have that for you tonight. Let's first talk about the situation in China. What is happening in China right now? Restaurants, zoos, even the Great Wall is open to tourists. Not foreign tourists, because they may bring back the virus, but the Chinese are out and about. As we say in television, they're moving towards normalcy. Restrictions are being lifted, factories are coming back online, businesses have resumed in many parts of China. At this rate, China's businesses will be up and running in a few weeks. Not without government help. Like most countries, China too has announced a relief package to revive the economy. Coming back to life, they have a plan to revive the economy. What does this tell you? While major countries are struggling, China is already making a head start. China also has an interesting pattern. Look at this map. This is Wuhan and the rest of China. The coronavirus outbreak in China is what this map details. Now, some of the biggest cities in China were largely insulated from the outbreak. I say this is interesting because while the virus spread and unleashed chaos in the remotest corners of the world, it couldn't do much damage in China's top cities. I'll give you examples with numbers. Let's start with Beijing. Beijing has recorded more than 500 cases. 8 people died in the city. Do you know what's the population of Beijing? 2.15 crores. Shanghai reported 468 cases with 5 deaths. Shanghai has a population of 2.4 crores. Among the 10 most densely populated cities in the world, only 5 deaths, less than 500 cases. The point I'm making is that China's financial hubs have largely emerged unscathed from this crisis. They can bounce back quickly. They're boosting business by creating opportunities. What does the world need right now? Personal protection equipment, masks, they're in short supply. Guess who's filling the gap? Chinese companies already at work to supply to the world. According to a report, almost 9,000 new manufacturers started producing masks in China this year. They began business in the first 2 months of 2020. China's daily mask production has crossed 116 million now. Many companies have overseas orders. They're selling outside China. One of the biggest companies is Dawn Polymer. This is a Chinese company. It supplies the fabrics used to make masks. Dawn Polymer has a 40% market share in China. And the value of its shares, the company's shares, has shot up by, listen to this, 417% since January. 417% in 3 months. The holdings of the company's founders now stand at a whopping $1.9 billion. The coronavirus crisis has only meant good news for their business. Here's another example of China creating opportunities from the crisis. Buying out distressed assets. Case in point, Australia. The Scott Morrison government is worried about Chinese companies taking over Australian businesses. Reports say Australia's Foreign Investment Review Board is now gearing up. Why? Because they fear takeover attempts from China. Distressed Australian businesses and assets are on China's radar. It's not just Chinese companies that stand to gain. Foreign companies based in China are also back in action. BMW's factories resumed operations in February itself, last month. Fiat Chrysler has also restarted production. Foxconn has resumed work in its mainland China factories. Foxconn manufactures for leading tech giants like Apple and HP. Tesla's factory in China is back online too, reportedly with help from local authorities. Members of the Chinese government allegedly helped Tesla secure key supplies. The Chinese government is going the extra mile to make sure businesses resume operations. In Shanghai, most foreign businesses are back in action.
Something is not right. Something is not right here. There is something is not right here, for sure. if you hear this video and what is going on right now in the world, what we're hearing, we are hearing a lot of rumors, and some they are rumors and some they are facts. There's something going on in this world. It's either natural or physical. So in an intelligent way of thinking, there's something going on. It's either political or it's a normal way, natural or physical. So you better be careful right now. I just beg you people, be on the shows, be on the internet, visit our shows. You will learn a lot about what's going on with this corona side. It has waked up a lot of people. For me also, I'm waked up from this because it's too much. I told you the last video, if people, you can go back to my first episode. I talked about this virus. It's either natural, physical, or man-made. So you better choose on that. But at the end of this year, we'll get the truth. The truth is coming out because other people, they don't use their brain. But I'm telling you, visit our videos, visit all the videos from World Health Organization. Go to the web or to Twitter, go to what? Listen, you'll get the answers. But don't listen to other people, rumors from outside. Come, visit us. YouTube creators, you will find the truth. What's all about corona. This pandemic is really serious. You never know who. Hey, wake up, man. Yes. As I told you that today we have a remote way. So today I brought something very nice to hear from you, from other people around the world. And as you have seen the last video about what's happening in China, so now I don't want to hear rumors. I want to hear direct from people who are living there. So I brought a guest today from China, and I won't talk on him. He will introduce by himself, and we continue with the show. So we're very nice to hear from you, and thank you and welcome to the show. Beat Them Up. I'm the host, Shanimax, and I'm always here every Sunday. So we welcome you for all the days you've been there on the all sad things, what happens in China and whatever. We don't know, but we need to know the facts. So we need to know the fact, because people who are not living there, we cannot talk, but we have to get the fact with the people who are living in China. So before I continue with all my questions, or questions from the people, or questions from my followers, I want you to introduce yourself, and then we go on with the show. So you're welcome. So
good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Omuntu Awansi, and I'm a Ugandan. I live in China. I live in a couple of cities because of the nature of job that I do. My job is in logistics. I source for goods and items for different customers around the world, and I load them in containers used for sea freight, or load them on the plane as air cargo. In my trade, I'm exposed to a lot of people, so I find myself having to learn a lot of languages. So I basically speak French, Chinese, English, and a couple of other African languages. And I live in China for about 5 years right now. Thank you for having me.
thank you so much, Mr. Omuntu Awansi. It's such a great pleasure to have you on my show, and welcome. Feel free, and yeah, that's just beat them up. That's how we do the thing. So you're welcome, and enjoy yourself. So As we go on, I prepared some questions for you. I think there are like 5 questions, and I want my people to know what's really going on and what's truth. Like I said, what is truth, what is not truth. So, my first question is, depending on the current situation in China, it has been said, or it has been said, for what you've heard from the last video, which I played the first video when I'm introducing myself, that China currently it has resumed from work. From all the business are open, and everything is now normal. So my question is, if everything is open, it has resumed in a normal way, is that does that mean that they have found a vaccine? And if not, why is it open in a normal way and everything is normal and everything is open, and then the vaccine is not yet found? Is that meaning that people are not dying anymore, or people are not infected anymore? So there is some situation I don't understand. Why is it this going normally right now, as what we're hearing around the world, that everything is already closed? We're still in a quarantine, all of us right now. Yes, but China, where it started from, they have opened into a normal way. Death is really decreased. Infected people are really decreased. So if it's in normal, what's going on? Please, can you tell us really about this situation, please, Mr. Omontwa-Wansi?
China is basically back to business. By business, it means commodity trading, export, import, production, manufacturing, nanotechnology development, nuclear energy, biochemistry, artificial intelligence, basically everything that has to do with them making money. So that's what it means that they're back to business. Now, why maybe this might be a little bit controversial is because maybe you're seeing many people from African origin trying to find out getting back to Africa. Why? Because they're being maybe evacuated out of China. It's because they are mostly teachers and the schools are still closed and it's still indefinite. So that is why they want to get out, because they're not getting paid. Yeah, they're not exactly adding to the economy right now. They're just English teachers. That is why they want to leave. So the rest of the country is actually back to business. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Omontwa-Wansi. You've really clarified the statement very, very clear. And I really appreciate you for this, because I really get to understand what's really happening, because people are talking. They're talking too much. So we're here. I'm in Germany, Frankfurt. I don't know what's going on in China. I just come here and then I talk blah blah blah. Then I'm confusing my viewers. So if you have a right person who is there and you're working in a very big field, logistic, with the aircraft and work, it means you know how things are going on. So I really thank you so much for your clarification. So my second question is, as we go on right now, we have a lot of videos going on around the world, and it shows that there is some that China is chasing away all Africans out of China, and they want them to be deported right away. So I'm confused. Is this issue about blacks, or is this issue about Africans, or is this issue about all migrants? What I mean by migrants, people who are not in a Chinese. So I'm confused, because I see it's only blacks, black African or African not black African, because they ask them for the passport so that they know where are you coming from. When you're coming from America, they will let you go, but if you're coming from any country from Africa, they just let you to leave. They don't accept people to eat. They don't accept people to access anything. No supermarket, no buying everything, no go to McDonald's, no going to everything. So it's really confused for us who are seeing this, because the videos have gone viral everywhere. They're talking about these issues. So for me, my question is this something wrong or set up to bring the African down and to bring some virus back to Africa? Because maybe it's a setup thing with the China so that they can send Africans back to their countries, and maybe there's some virus they're going to give them to transport or to make something unusual to Africans, because Africans were not so much infected with this. It's not so much. So God has covered us with this issue. We have suffered a lot with a lot of diseases, but this time God has really covered us. So I don't know, it's just a setup or something else. So please, can you explain us, my viewers, so that they can know about with this, to know, they need to know the answers. You're welcome, sir.
You asked why most people are saying that the Chinese want to bring the virus back to Africa. I don't think this is factual. Why? Because Africans are the business for Chinese. They need African money. Ideally, if Africans stop buying stuff from China, I think the China GDP will drop very, very much, because I have it in good authority that even Musk, the biggest shipping company in the world, credits all its maybe 50% of its profits, annual profits, from African customers who export from China to Africa. So the other difference is from the rest of the world. So you can imagine just how much money Africa contributes to the Chinese economy. Now, as far as tests are concerned, I think that's something else. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omutuawansi. I have my last question is what's the way forward? Do African people gonna be sent away or isolate them in one place? That's what I want to know, so that my followers can understand. Is these people gonna be deported, or they're gonna be isolated in one place? Because I've seen a lot of the video. I think you've seen it here, or when they're taking them in one bus, but we don't know where. And what I don't understand is, this thing is crazy, and I'm asking myself, why Africans? We don't want to be racist. This is not about racist. This is about finding the solution, how to kick away this pandemic. And on my own thinking right now, I'm trying to bring the solution and trying to think about all what's going on. I just know that this is a human-made virus. These stories and what's going on right now is not normal. Why African? African, we've been suffered a lot, from slavery to war up to now. We're out of our countries. We come this way to look for cassava, to look for something to eat, to help our families. And apart from that, our politicians, our governments are very corrupt people. So we don't understand. So I want to know, where are they going to send these people?
The controversy has been that Chinese landlords, mostly from the Guangdong province, have been forced by the state. That's what the message is. Most landlords have been telling their tenants that they were forced by the state not to allow African tenants. So even those that had been there for some time were forced to leave, and some of their monies were refunded. Now, that is when, of course, many Africans raised their voices, and the Nigerian consulate came up to speak against the Chinese. And you have to understand the political background of this. Nigeria has one of the largest number of Chinese in the diaspora in Africa. I think they are close to 1 million Chinese in Nigeria right now. So any kind of mishaps here could have a diplomatic incident. So quickly, it was resolved.
Thank you so much, Omuntuawansi. I want you to back up and summarize your all points which you've been talking about the whole day. Please, can you back up and conclude your points in one phase, in large, so that people they can see the whole picture, and then we'll say goodbye for you.
While many other foreigners might want to stay and have no other option of going back, why? Because of course, right now the current state of the coronavirus prevalence in their countries is too bad. That's Europe and the US and South America. Africans want to go back because they know it's not that big an issue in Africa. Also, they have access, because you see right now corona is very bad for people who live in the urban areas, you know, like in cities with tall buildings. Whoever stays in the countryside has access to organic food, fresh air, fresh water, is more likely to survive this kind of pandemic. So why Africans want to go back to Africa, because they know that is the background that they come from, and it can really help to revive them or even save them from the pandemic. Yes. That is why many of them would prefer to leave right now rather than stay and wait for this to end. They will come back as soon as this gets resolved. Considering the fact that the Chinese government doesn't want to spend any more money on Africans, I don't think they're going to deport them. And of course, their home countries haven't shown interest. I saw a document from the government of Nigeria. I don't know if it was authentic, but they had provided some airplanes to come and pick all the Nigerians who had registered with the consulate. But each Nigerian was going to pay for their own air ticket. I believe other African countries that have airlines can arrange this kind of thing, or even charter planes to evacuate their population in the diaspora here in China. So I would rather people are given an option of what to do. If they can stay and wait this out, it would be good. But if they can't, they can leave. The challenge is the time that the scientists have given for them to actually try and resolve this medically. And they've said between 18 to 24 months, and that's a very, very long time to wait.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omuntuawansi. By the way, if people you want to know about what's the meaning of Omuntuawansi, he has such a great name. The Omuntuawansi means the lower class people. So he has named himself this name, and it's really great because he fights for the rights of the people. So he works in China, but politically he fights for the rights of people. So we're thanking you for coming into our show, and I think we're gonna have you again next time. And thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you've shared with us. We will appreciate it, and it's really nice to have you onto our show. And we think that the next time you will come and then tell us more what's going on, because I really got a big picture of what is happening around the world. And I think I'm going to summarize this thing. I've got a really straight picture of what is going on in China and around the world in large. Thank you so much, and have a nice day, Mr. Omuntuawansi.
To the Ugandans in China, to the Africans in China, we are with you, we are rooting for you. It is very unfortunate that you're being treated like this, mainly because you're black. We've seen videos that are very disturbing. I'm in touch. I've written to various heads of state in Africa here, and I'm also working with other friends, including the Black Lions in Atlanta. We want to repatriate. We want to get special planes to repatriate the Africans in China, and we are in talks with different governments. Once we have a country that allows in those Africans, we want to get them away from China, because in 2020 we cannot let any black man be disrespected on account of their skin. We are human beings. We have more than 50,000 Chinese living here in Uganda, and more than 1 million Chinese living in Africa. So I'm also calling upon the Chinese administration to rein on their officials, to reign on their people. The government of Uganda, the African Union, the international community, they should reign on China and have them respect the rights of black people, the rights of Africans, the rights of Ugandans that are in China. We are with you, brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
Ugandans, we are together. Africans, we are together. We will certainly go through this.
Before I finish my question, Mutwawansi has gone, and then we have to thank him very much for joining us. Then I want you to see these videos, because there are some bloggers around the world really contesting and protesting about what's going on. They're saying, as Mutwawansi did, because also I'm very confused why Africans are being taken back to their countries, and right now other countries, they're making vaccine tests in Africa. Why in Africa? We have a lot of animals. We have a lot of people who are in a prison who they have death penalties. You can go and test them. Test them. Why do you test in Africa? Who are we? We are dying also. You see black Africans who are in America, they're dying. Also in Africa, we have death threat in South Africa, some in Kenya. So you don't think that we just some people who are just like that. No, we are dying also. So we died, a lot of people, millions and millions of people of this virus, AIDS, up to now. So we are also human. So why do you make the test in Africa? So I don't understand. So you can watch these videos, then we go for a short break.
This quarantine nonsense needs to stop. At this rate, if this continues, we'll all be fat. Hey, you see my face is already starting to look like Rick Ross's stomach. I found out my Jamaican friend was making oxtail. I said, brother, forget this social distance and bring me some. He said, I'm not making oxtail till Thursday. Today is Monday. How did you know? I said, you see, this quarantine is making this nose bigger. It's already starting to smell future. Now the government wants to come to Africa to test us first with vaccination, when they should be testing the vaccination on the real virus. It's called side chicks. The ones who are home crying that they cannot find peanuts. Go and test them, and test your father first. Pepto-Dismal mongoose. Go and test the women who should be searching their feelings instead of searching Netflix. Come on.
France, leave Africa alone. We don't have no corona problem in Africa. No corona problem in Africa. France, leave Africa alone. You have a vaccine. Why don't you test the vaccine in Europe? Why don't you test the vaccine in America? Why Africa? France, you are very wicked. France, you are very jealous of we the black people. France, because of we the black people, you win the World Cup. You win the World Cup because we the black people, because of we the black people, we play for your team. France team, who is there? We the black. France, you are very dangerous. France, you people are very wicked. France, leave Africa alone.
So I have two videos again. After the break, we're back. Please don't forget to share and subscribe on my YouTube channel, ShaniMax, and go to my website, www.shanimax.de. Visit my Facebook, my Twitter, my YouTube, my my Vimeo, and subscribe and like and share everything what is there. Please visit my website and know what's going on right now. So I have two videos. These videos have happened around 15 years ago, 20 years back, and another 10 years back. One is from George Bush, the president, George Bush from USA, and another one is from the late Muammar Gaddafi. So I want you people to listen to these two videos and combine them with the first video I first introduced when I'm starting my show, and then get the whole point of Omuntu Wawansi, what has been telling us about, then we look for the answers. So enjoy this video. One, I'm going to start with George Bush. That happens long time ago, talking about pandemic. What was that pandemic? After swine flu, is any pandemic came between us? I don't know. So what was that pandemic? And then we come to Muammar Gaddafi, who was born in 1942 and he died in 20th October 2011. I want you to listen to this and get the whole picture, because now we are confused. What's corona? Who brought corona? And who named this disease corona? We don't know. Is this normal? Oh, no. We always have jokes, right? But right now it's not a joke. We need to find out. We need to find out seriously. Chineke, this is not a joke anymore. People are dying. You're losing a lot of families. We don't work, we're sitting at home. My stomach is growing old and big and big and big and big. Do you know where it goes? I don't know either. Even if I do my practice here, it's not enough. This is really sad. It's really sad. So enjoy the video and let's meet after the break.
We can help our nation prepare for other dangers, such as a terrorist attack using chemical or biological weapons. Leaders at every level of government have a responsibility to confront dangers before they appear and engage the American people in the best course of action. It is vital that our nation discuss and address the threat of pandemic flu now. There is no pandemic flu in our country or in the world at this time. But if we wait for a pandemic to appear, it will be too late to prepare. And one day, many lives could be needlessly lost because we failed to act today. By preparing now, we can give our citizens some peace of mind, knowing that our nation is ready to act at the first sign of danger, and that we have the plans in place to prevent and, if necessary, withstand an influenza pandemic. Thank you for coming today to let me outline my strategy. Thank the United States
Congress
for
swine flu.
considering this measure.
Perhaps tomorrow there'll be fish flu. Because sometimes we produce viruses by controlling them. It is a commercial business. Capitalist companies produce viruses so that they can generate and sell vaccinations. This is very shameful and poor ethics. Vaccinations and medicine should not be sold. In the Green Book, I maintain that medicines should not be sold or subject to commercialization. Medicines should be free of charge and vaccinations given free to children. But capitalist companies produce the viruses and vaccinations and want to make a profit. Why are they not free of charge? We should give them free of charge, not sell them. The entire world should strive to protect our people, create and manufacture vaccinations, and then give them for free to children and women and not profit by them. All those items are on the agenda of the General Assembly, which has to exercise that duty.
Hey, Shiny Matt, subscribe, find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and don't forget, Vimeo is real interesting.
Shiny Matt
is everywhere. Wherever you go, you'll find me. just subscribe, like, share, and click the buttons. Just come to my boy, Shanimax.
So that was the video. I think you've seen, you've heard, you've listened, you've seen, you've heard, you've listened, you've seen, you've heard. That is really crazy. Mama. Corona, what I can say that Corona was already made. That's my own opinion, what I can say about it when I'm finishing my video or my show. Corona was a man-made pandemic. You like it or not, this is a World War III. People, they don't fight again with guns and powder on what? No, this is in Middle East. But if you want to fight against the world biggest countries like Germany, Italy, like Great Britain, like USA, right? These big five, you have to use logic. That's what's called logistic, logic. Chemical weapons. Now it has come virus weapons, and it's in part of chemical weapons. They're showing people that we can fight with you, but we are using just simple thing. Up through. It comes into the air and then it goes into you. Why? They get this one into the animals, and then they combine all the things from the animals and get one virus which can be the most queen. That's why it's called Corona, COVID-19. That's a queen. It's a queen of all viruses. Who knows that they will bring even the bigger than this. Maybe it's gonna be, I don't know the name they will name it, but this is all shit. These stories began long time about this thing. Why now? Why not in the other side, in same place in 15 years back? It's gonna be a serious issue. So I'm closing my video. I just want you to subscribe, like, share, and we are looking for answers. Those are the videos and what the issues for today. I don't have much to say. I'm gonna end up with the one sad one from Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, what they did, it was really annoying. I told you they are bringing tests in Africa. Now all African countries, they have started to really demonstrate, and the demonstration has started in the West Africa. Very serious. They are banning all chemical test labs and laboratories down. And if they know you are the laboratory or your chemical or what, you're in problems. Ivory Coast people, they don't play around. So right now all chemical laboratories and what, they are down. They don't need this thing. Enough is enough. By the way, Ivory Coast suffered a lot in slavery, as in Middle East, in East Africa, we suffered a lot. But Ivory Coast, with other Musa Sausa, these people, they suffered a lot with slavery, and they don't need anymore. We are so fat. We are so, I'm sorry to use this word, we are so weak. We are so poor people. That's why we came in these countries to look for something. But now if you say you're going to bring tests in Africa for vaccine, That means the test doesn't come alone, it comes with the virus. So they infect you and then they test you. Or if it's not going to be in 2 people, they're going to kill a lot of animals because of this test. There's so many things which is going to be there. So I call upon the people that please, we need to wake up. We need to wake up, really. We need to wake up. Africans, this is enough for us. We have suffered a lot. We don't need this again. This is not racism. But what's happening now is so sad. Just come out and say we want you back to slavery. Then we know now we are preparing for another issue. But don't bring vaccine tests in Africa. So share my video, like it, subscribe. I love you all. Until Sunday, Beat Them Up Show. Don't forget to visit my website too, www.shanimax.de. And we meet again next Sunday. Beat Them Up Show. Ciao.